Hello and welcome to our latest episode of the Elevate Life Sciences webinar series. Today we'll be discussing how your company can accelerate growth by integrating business planning and execution. I'm Bill Eager, Solutions Engineering Manager for our medical device and life science industries, and I am eager to be with you here today. I'm thrilled to be joined by a blue ribbon presenter, Mr. David Pabst from Alithya. David is a Senior Solutions Director and Architect for Alithya. He's an Oracle ACE Pro and a published author when it comes to the challenges and benefits of integrating enterprise planning and execution systems. Integrated business planning and execution is a process, and I want to put an emphasis on the word process. It's not an app you can buy from Oracle. It's a process that streamlines and connects long-range and strategic plans with short-term and tactical plans. And when connected, executives have a clear view of their operations. So why do you need to connect your plans? Well, in finance, financial plans don't reflect operational realities. Revenue forecast is unreliable. It's not adjusted to reflect the operating forecast, and strategic financial plans lack a bottom-up validation. In operations, operating plans are not directly aligned to financial targets. The impact of demand and supply changes are not visible to finance. Operating plans have little top-down validation and decisions made without considering the financial impacts. So the solution is to connect with integrated business planning, replacing manual and disconnected processes with continuous integrated planning. Injecting operational reality into your finance plan and injecting a financial viewpoint into your operations plan by synchronizing your top-down dollars with your bottom-up units and being able to examine alternatives and what-if simulations. There are many challenges to achieve integrated business planning. There's no combined view of plans. Fragmented systems make it painful to pull together plans from all different departments. And it really, for most businesses, it leads to an Excel hell. Lack of integrated planning disrupts product flow and it damages customer service. Planners feel they have no ownership over the process. Disconnected planning processes are not scalable as your company grows. Inaccurate forecasts, no rapid what-if analysis, no insight, but integrated business planning offers the opportunity for zero latency, end-to-end enterprise planning, addressing the need to know sooner, act faster, and adapt quickly to changing business conditions. Align the enterprise. That's our goal by providing purpose-built best practice processes, social collaboration and executive participation, consensus planning, and most importantly, accountability. Oracle's cloud-based sales and operations planning solution is a key tool to enable a connected and integrated business planning process. It connects finance, operations, and execution by monitoring the health of your product portfolio, ensuring that your demand plan achieves company revenue targets while generating a supply plan to profitably meet demand and reconciling your operating plans with your overall financial goals. So now let's hear from David at Alithya to examine how and why life science companies are achieving success with integrated business planning.
Hello, I'm David Pabst. I'm a Architect and Oracle Ace Pro, I've dedicated my career to helping organizations deploy next level budgeting and forecasting solutions. I work for a publicly traded digital consulting and transformation organization called Alithia. Alithia stands for Trust in Ancient Greek, and we take that seriously across our 4,000 employees. We have one of the largest Oracle practices in North America focused on business execution, so running your back office and planning and forecasting with Oracle's enterprise performance management tools. We have over 350 Oracle consultant experts across our 4 pillars of Oracle business applications and all the related services, including um, strategy, change management, and adopting the cloud. Bill, let's learn about planning flywheels. Imagine a giant heavy wheel, like a huge tire at the gym or the biggest wheel you can imagine on a giant piece of equipment. Imagine trying to get that thing to turn, right? You push and it feels like it barely moves, and you push some more and it moves a little more. But over the hours and days of just nudging that giant wheel, it's going to eventually start to turn, and faster it's going to go. And by the time the momentum gets going, that flywheel is going to be spinning so fast it feels like you aren't even pushing it. And that's really an analogy that of where we want to go with integrated planning and execution. We want to connect and integrate the plans in our organizations with the execution and get that planning flywheel to spin as fast as it possibly can. Um, you could thank author Jim Collins for this concept of the flywheel in his classic book From Good to Great. And the cool message that Jim Collins had was, you need to start pushing on that flywheel somewhere, in the middle, in the top, in the bottom, and it'll start moving. So somewhere in your organization, there's going to be a business leader that wants to partner with you to improve forecasting, get out of Excel, and link the planning process to real world operations, and create those real time feedback loops that Bill was talking about. And I like to point out, if you want to connect every group and every function and every system together in your organization, if you took it all at once, it would be an insurmountable task. But you can start with one function and one business process at a time to get that flywheel turning. And Oracle Cloud Enterprise Performance Management is that technology that can help you build these connected and integrated planning experiences in a modular, in a phase process over time. Let's drill into what a flywheel might look like. So here's a flywheel for a B2B distributor of medical products. And think warehouses, human resources, sales, and all the other SG&A functions that you might expect. The outer ring represents all the operational systems that each team uses to actually run their part of the organization. So sales is going to use a CRM system, HR is going to have their HCM, payroll, recruiting tools, and operations is going to have things like order management and production scheduling and warehouse management and fulfillment, the things that actually make the organization run. The middle ring represents the planning and forecasting processes that are happening within each of the different groups to look out into the future. So take operations as an example. They might need to think 6 months ahead to make sure there's enough product in their distribution centers. How much should we order? What should we order? Uh, what distribution center do these orders need to go to? How big a backlog do we have that we need to fulfill? And as ops is working through those kinds of questions and plans, their plans connect with all the other parts and functions of the organization. No one really operates in a silo. So that's what the inner ring represents in the planning flywheel, is how all the different functions of the organizations need to collaborate and work together to connect their plans. The C-suite needs to articulate how they want the organization to grow. Sales needs to figure out who to sell to, and build up their S&OP plan. And then HR needs to plan who to hire and where to hire to support the overall business plan. And so that's the beauty of the Oracle Enterprise Performance Management Cloud, is to let you develop that middle ring, aligning planning to all the operations in each different group. And the planning processes vary by group. So people ask me all the time, where do you start pushing? Where should we start? And somewhere that'll make a difference. Look for someone in the organization, an open-minded business partner that wants to modernize the feedback loop between their planning processes and their operations that they're executing against every day. And you might find it an interesting exercise to just draw this flywheel for your own organization and circle the areas where you could make a difference. And so let's talk about a real-world example that we deploy pretty frequently. So In the top left, we'll use Oracle EPM strategic modeling to provide that C-suite capability so that your C-suite, your CFO, CEO can think a few years out and think about the big picture. And the C-suite can set the growth targets that inform sales, and sales can take those growth targets in the bottom left to set and build their S&OP plan. In the top right, finance can take those growth targets and translate them into a financial plan. Think about your P&L, your balance sheet that the organization can manage to. And finance can help the organization use Oracle's enterprise profitability and cost management tool to understand which products and services are profitable. As we were talking about in the bottom left, sales can use Oracle sales planning to take the C-suite's growth target and convert it to a sales bookings, build up quotas, perform key account planning, and understand whom to target in the future. And then ultimately, in the right, operations can pivot that financial plan and the sales plan to running the business using things like Oracle supply chain planning, supply chain management, and human capital management to actually run the business. So this is a typical flywheel that we'll see in a medical device distributor as an example. So why don't we take look at a couple of case studies. All right, recently I worked with a large pharmaceutical research organization that was part of a larger organization themselves. And so this group acted as a service bureau to develop and incubate new therapeutics for other large companies. At their heart, they were managing a set of projects that have a set of stages to incubate, research, develop, and trial drugs on behalf of their customers. It's a high margin business, low volume, with a very long planning horizon, right? These projects can take years, months to years to execute against, and you have to be thinking pretty far out. So we worked with them to link the various perspectives into an integrated planning process that supported their needs as an independent business unit, but let them interface with their wider and bigger corporate parent. They were able to drive that financial view using the Oracle EPM planning technology. They developed their functional plans, including sales, labor, and hiring plans, and then they were able to drive their sales plan into a key account plan to think through who are they going to target in the future. And at the end of the day, they really need to model out the mix of what projects are continuing and what would that take to complete the projects they're already signed up for, and then what's that delta to go solve for new business they need to win in the future to replenish projects that have completed. And what I love about deploying the Oracle EPM Cloud in an environment like this is the organization used several non-Oracle operational products, but we were able to seamlessly exchange information and translate the master data between these tools, whether it's departments, projects, costs, between the various components so that it could all work together. Why don't we take a look at another case study? This one I'm really excited about. I'm presently working with a large distributor of medical supplies and equipment. So think things like surgical gloves and gowns. It's a low margin, high volume business with long lead times to source product. If you order too much or too little product, think face masks during COVID, your past decisions can roll into today's earnings. So to get a better handle on their process, they decided to move away from Excel and to an integrated and connected forecasting process using the Oracle technology. So everyone that has a piece of the P&L, all the different functions and leaders, are working together or moving to working together in a single system to develop their sales plan, their sourcing plan by key supplier, their expense plans, their CapEx expansion plans for their different warehouses and facilities. And they are operating on a scale where they really have to think through the split between, inflation versus organic growth and model that throughout their business. So organic growth will require the build out of additional warehouse and fulfillment capacity where price inflation just passes through to their customers. So we're helping them deploy the Oracle Cloud EPM planning capability in a modular fashion so that they can start turning that flywheel to connect their teams together from a business planning perspective, and then drive those plans back into their operational processes so that they can run their business. So ordering product, working with vendors, capturing sales, and so on. So the Oracle EPM planning technology really provides that glue to create connected planning across the organization integrating between planning and execution across all the different teams, and allows us to link Oracle's tools with some non-Oracle operational tools at this client. So to wrap up, I have a couple of leading practices I'd like to share that I've used at these organizations. So what does it take to really start spinning that flywheel? If you want some inspiration, I encourage you to check out my book, The 9 Principles of Agile Planning, which is available on Amazon and booksellers everywhere. The 9 Principles is a framework and methodology to deploy a balanced planning and forecasting process that can sustain the organization and add real value. I spend a lot of time in my book talking about why you need to plan in the language of the business, link supply and demand across the organization, and make things easy for your stakeholders while continually innovating and improving. So a couple of concepts that can bring this to life. Focus on the 80-20. If you look at that flywheel we put up, there are a million sub-processes in your flywheel, but identify the really big gears that if you start pressing on it, it'll make the flywheel spin, and focus on one of those big and important ones. Number 2, data and master data are critical. So to talk execution and planning, you need to have a common taxonomy to plan and also manage execution with. So think a common list of products, common list of items, common list of departments. Oracle's EPM technology has a robust master data capability to standardize these master data lists across Oracle and non-Oracle systems to really tie together the planning and execution processes. Be smart about handoffs between the teams. So if you're connecting planning across the organization, you still have to respect the other teams within the organization. And with everyone working together, we need to create processes that allow each group to work independently, but be able to publish their work to others throughout and take advantage of the benefits of being in a common tool, but also give people the ability to work through their part of the business problem independently. In my book, I explain how initiatives and forecasts are forecast secret weapons. You can separate running your business from the actions you'll take to improve your business. It's an incredibly powerful concept. And finally, make sure you're always innovating and improving and trying to get that flywheel to turn faster and faster. And I'll wrap up. I love this stuff. So if you're interested in it, please reach out if you'd like to talk more. Back to you, Bill.
Thanks, David. So folks, as David mentioned, start pushing on the flywheel. Align your enterprise using best practices in integrated planning from Oracle and Alithya. For more information, you can click on the following QR codes for Alithya and Oracle Life Sciences. Thank you.